computer's a mess. Anyways, hi. Oregon. Okay. Hi, this is Michael Ellis, also known as Elias the Artist. As you can see behind me is my bookcase. Well, I'm gonna move this around in a couple seconds. I'm up late and it's about 1 in the morning. I can't sleep, so I'm gonna pour some Orgonite pyramids. It's gonna take a while, but the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show people how to pour Orgonite for their gardens specifically, since there's obviously going to be a big need for home gardening in the future. Or, well, hopefully not, but I know there will be anyways. So, I mean, just to supplement people's food supplies. Anyways, so yeah. So I want to show people how to pour Orgonite for their gardens. And the main thing behind that is you need to pour it with a contact into the ground. And it's mainly just so the energy gets directed into the soil as opposed to out into the environment. And I'm going to be doing pyramids. So I just have one mold, so I'm just going to do one. And I might do some pucks or something like that too, or a little I don't know, maybe a plate or something with the leftover resin. And yeah, and so I'm gonna show how to cut pipe and all that too. So let's get started. So I'll just have to get my setup started here. So this is my basement. It's a mess. I don't know if I can get a good view of it. So I'm gonna have to come down here. There we go. As you can see, our basement is a huge disaster, but well, at least from here you can see what I'm working on. So, actually, I might need to look down a little bit more. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to be pouring in this pyramid mold here. As you can see, has like a box. It's like a pyramid to support the silicone mold. And this is the silicone mold that goes in the box that holds it up. You can buy these on Amazon. I think they're also on eBay and stuff. So they're pretty cool. If you're pouring any resin, I'd stick with silicone or silicone molds because that's the only way you're going to get them off. Plastic sticks to it if you don't provide a mold release. And so yeah, go with silicone. Metal sticks, it's just a disaster when you're trying to get it out of there and stuff. So yeah, stick with silicone. I also have some little tiny pyramids. I'm going to be using those too for the extra resin that I have left. Get this out of the way. So I'll be filling those up too. I don't know what this powder is. Anyways, that's okay. And yeah. So the things I'm going to need. You can get gold leaf from different. This just came in a kit that I had for Orgonite pieces. Highly suggest you use gold leaf and silver leaf in your pieces. Those really make them stand out. I also have some. This is just an example, but I have a bunch of different mica powders that I use. I'm going to be using purple on this one because I like the color purple and because I just have a ton of it to use. I have a couple of their powders that I got from my mom. She does candle making and she tried using mica and it didn't work out, so she gave it to me to use. But this one I bought on Amazon. It's just eye candy, purple mica powder. Mica powders are nice because they actually do have an energetic value. Like you find mica in the pyramids in Mexico. And so yeah, so those have a value too when you're making Orgonite. And they look cool. It looks cool in the resin. I have a box of rocks somewhere around here. There it is. For my crystals, I have a ton. Oh god, I just spilled them. I just spilled all my amethyst chips everywhere. Oh, I'll pick those up later. Got some amethyst chips I got from China. I don't know what. Got them on Amazon. We've got some rose quartz. I just got all these like today actually. The amethyst I had for a while. Emerald. Beautiful rough emerald. And yeah, I find it helps to buy like the 1 pound bags of the rough for cabbing and amethyst. The 1 pound bags for cabbing and tumbling, because those tend to be the best buy, unless you're going to a mineral store and you can actually buy them rough kyanite chips, 1 pound worth. Good deal. And then they also came with some free tumbled stones, rose quartz and regular quartz. I'll add those in. Also, there was a crystal store, Rough Stone LLC, sells beautiful rough stone in huge chunks by the pound. These I had from a while back. I have a bunch of huge chunks of these crystal quartz and stuff. Great company to work with because they have really decent prices and they ship for free, I think. Or not, I don't know, maybe they charge shipping. Oh, they do charge shipping. Okay. But yeah, I'm not promoting anything or anyone, but I'm just saying these are the places I get my stuff from. So like all these bags came from Amazon. They're like China and stuff. And other mine providers, relays or suppliers, really. That's the word I'm looking for. Let's see what else. Metals. Okay. We got to have the metals. So I'm not using this today, but I got a big thing of magnesium. I don't know. So I found it looks really cool if you mix the metals together, the different kinds of metals. I found it looks really cool like that. I mix equal parts aluminum, brass, and copper together, all the shavings. I get mine through orgoncrystals.com, I think it's called. Yeah, orgoncrystals.com. They sell big bags of brass by the pound, copper by the pound, aluminum by the pound, and half pound, or copper by the half pound rather. Copper shavings from a key maker or a pipe cutter or something. I don't know. Anyways, well, they just got it by the pound from some manufacturer, and then we got a bucket full of aluminum. So, yeah, that's where I get mine. I gotta find a quartz crystal point. I have one somewhere. I'll probably be using this point today. I did a little boiling with it, but to try and do some experiments. But this is what I'm going to use at the peak of the pyramid. Nice little crystal point. I usually use points in the pyramids, tops, and then I use like 4 other points going in the cardinal directions towards the corners of the pyramid, somewhere down the line as I'm filling it up. That's how I usually make my pyramids. And I do use sand in the somewhere mixed in there because I found that sand makes a good I don't know what you call it. makes good energy, like any metal in it does. Sand makes a good energy in it too. And then finally, we've got the resin. It's a 2-part system, low fume. I use East Coast, but any supplier will make a good epoxy resin. I get the clear coat stuff. That's for using for molding or for casting tabletops. So that's the stuff I use, and of course, gotta have my coffee. Keep awake. Starbucks. Gotta support local businesses, I guess. Yeah, they're not local. Okay, and then my mom was gonna throw these out. Knives, plastic knives for mixing the resin with, and then plastic cups for. Usually, I'd prefer clear cups, but I know this last time I ordered opaque cups for some reason. So for mixing resin in, and don't let it sit in your knife sit in the cup, otherwise it gets stuck in there forever. So then you throw them out. Once you're done mixing, set it somewhere like on cardboard or something so you can reuse it, because the resin will dry or cure hard onto it, so you might as well reuse it or whatever. Just set it somewhere. So we're going to use that for. Are you catching this? Oh, I'll turn this. Oh, and some things I like to do is make these little magnets. I made some for my niece and nephew. Made little magnets out of these little molds of sea creatures and flowers. Actually, these didn't dry, but actually they're cured now. It took a while, from a couple months, because the resin wasn't exactly perfect. I'll try and rotate this a little bit. Oh, and finally, you want to have on hand a lighter. This works to get rid of bubbles. When you get like the frothy foam stuff on top of your resin, if you use the lighter, you can actually melt the bubbles down, and they pop when they heat up, and then the resin melts down, and it's nice and clear and smooth, so you can get rid of bubbles that way. I learned that trick on YouTube somewhere, so thanks to whoever taught me that. And finally, I have my secret ingredient, if I've got it somewhere. I think it's upstairs. And that's my Philosopher's Stone salt. So I make that from iron and copper in a secret procedure that's highly alchemical and patented, or not patented, but proprietary. And that's what adds the extra oomph to my pyramids. So I'll have to go get that. It's upstairs. So I'm going to put it on pause for a minute and end the stream. Oh, maybe not. Actually, I'll have to leave it running. There's no way to pause it. If I end the stream, I don't know if there's a way to resume it. Oh, let's try it out and see. Okay, I'm going to have to just go upstairs. Oh, and I gotta get sand too. Get sand. And for the contact, I'm gonna be using this pipe, this copper pipe. I think it's 1/4 inch, or oh, it's a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch hard length. The reason I use pipe is because it's supposed to be a good Orgonite channel. Otherwise, I can also use well, I don't know, pipe makes better connection than ground wire does. So I use pipe to drive into the ground in the ends of my pyramids. So I'll be cutting that. I'll probably do like 4 pipe lengths or something. I don't know, or maybe just one out the back. Yeah, I'll probably just do one. I'll have to cut it down a little bit though, so it's not obnoxiously long. Because my dream, or my concept, my dream, is to have a pipe sticking out the bottom of the pyramid like such, and it embeds into the ground. So the pyramid is on ground level and has the pipe sticking into the dirt, and that's feeding the energy into the earth around the, or in your garden or agricultural area or whatever. So so it's getting all the, so the vegetables and fruits, trees and grasses and all that good stuff are getting the energy from the Orgonite. And that's the main reason we use Orgonite in agriculture areas, is because it actually feeds that prana, or the life force energy from the magnetic field, from the earth, from the atmosphere, into the soil and the plants, and actually increases their growth. And they've done proximity experiments with sprouting seeds and whatnot, and with vegetables in different plots, and they always get healthier and bigger and stronger and more fruitful and more fertile when the Orgonite's around them. So that's why I'm making this for our garden outside. I'm gonna go grab some sand from the backyard and some what's I gonna get? Oh, my philosopher's stone salt, my extra special ingredient. I'll be right back. So stream will be dead for a while. Alright, I'm back. Make my way. Okay. So I got the salt, which is a secret ingredient. It's actually, it looks like gold hydroxide, but I don't know. I haven't had it tested yet. So it's a salt of some type that's ironous, and sand was wet because I left the top off the open on the, because it got snow in it and stuff, so it didn't close all the way last time I was in it. So the sand is a little wet, so I don't know if that's going to work or not. Because when you get water in with resin, it bubbles up and it foams and it doesn't harden correctly. So I think I'm gonna leave the sand out on this one and just go with a clear. I'll maybe use mica powder on the capstone of it. That'll probably look cool. So let's begin. So first we need our capstone crystal quartz piece, which was somewhere around here. What did I do with it? Where did I set it? Oh, and here's the. Here, I'll show you the salt that I make. That's the stuff. Oh, here's an amethyst point. And use that as the top. I got this amethyst point. I'll use that as the peak stone. Okay. Now I need some copper wire to coil it. Crystal. I had that somewhere around here, but I don't know where it went. And I lost it. I think I left it over by my alchemy stuff. There's no wire. Where did you go? Maybe we'll have to do without it. I hate to though. I gotta blend it. I have no idea where I put it. That's weird. I don't have any in there. So I guess I'll have to do without. Oh well. Where? It's unfortunate. I swore it was over here. Here's something. Okay. Alright, that didn't work.
Can't find my wire. Okay, so I guess it's not gonna have a coil. Otherwise, I teach you how to coil. We basically do a counterclockwise wrap, so it's like overhand, and you, as you're going towards the point, you draw it over the crystal towards you and under as you're going in the direction towards the point. And that should be a counterclockwise rotation as you see it from the point. And that goes in that creates a, what they call a clockwise coil, or a forward coil of the copper or whatever type of wire you're using to wrap the crystal with. So that's supposedly the right way to do it, as according to the Orgonite community. That's how they wrap all their crystals. But I do not see my wire in there. And I also have black iron oxide or shungite, but I don't think I'm going to use either of those. Or maybe I will, since I'm making an agricultural pyramid. That might help with the fertility vibe to it. What's this in this box? Here, let's see. Also, I'm sitting right on top of it. Nope, it's just the extra crystals. Got up and walked away, I guess. I have no idea where it went. It's really weird. Tends to happen a lot in this house. Stuff disappearing and reappearing. Okay, now to begin with, we're going to put a crystal on the point of our pyramid. So it's going to go with the point, and the point is the more developed part with the purple end of the amethyst crystal. And that's going to go point down in the pyramid towards the apex. And I usually just get it to stand on its own by putting it down in the point. Usually if I have a coil around the crystal, that can also help get it centered and standing on its own while I pour resin or whatever around it. Sometimes I'll use sand if it's dry. This isn't dry sand. And I'll put that down in the, we're already on 28 minutes. Okay. I'll put that down in the peak, just because it has a nice energy. It has a nice quartz. This is quartz play sand, the yellow stuff. And that gives a nice vibe to it. Something that metal can't do. And it has something different than crystals because it's smaller pieces. It's more of a dielectric energy. But yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll try using this, I guess. It's not too bad. Well, I guess it does have a little bit of moisture to it. Huh. I don't know what happened to the other sand. I must have used all of it up. Well, I guess. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's empty. Let's just throw it away. Put it towards my trash can. So yeah. My silver sheets. It's also empty. Put that in the trash pile. So I guess I'll get started. Now I'll pour the thick part of the resin, the A part, first, since that is heaviest and it goes down towards the bottom, sinks down towards the bottom.
Now, if you're doing this indoors, make sure it's a low fume type and that you actually aren't like poisoning yourself with the fumes, because now this is a well ventilated area. There's a garage like attached to this room, and it's breezy into it. So so it has nice ventilation in here. So I don't really think I need to wear a mask, but I'd suggest making sure you have ventilation, like an open garage door or something like that. Or doing this outside. So that's just my 2 cents. Um, so we're gonna pour. We don't need a whole lot for the apex. I'm just gonna pour a little bit in. Remember, this is 2 parts, so they're equal by volume and weight, or weight actually, I should say, not volume. It's a 1-to-1 mixture. So I'm just eyeing it, which is really not suggested. So you end up messing it up. Which I've done in the past on a few projects. So I would suggest actually weighing this out or getting a clear cup and actually seeing what you're doing. Mixing, count to 60, and on the 30, scrape the sides and bottom. Okay. And then mix your sand in, which I'm going to do very carefully. This is wet. I won't mix a whole lot in. I want the crystal to be visible. Since we're not putting a coil on, mix too much sand in. And when you mix sand in, mix toward the amount you mix in is the amount that's going to sink to the bottom and be volume that way. It's not going to end up how you mix it in. It's not going to be perfectly mixed volume for volume with the resin. It's going to sink out of the resin and the resin's going to rise to the top. So make sure you're mixing it 50-50 with the resin. Otherwise, the resin is just going to rise out of the top, and you're going to have part sand, part clear. So mix it 50-50 if you want, unless you want a clear part to it. Okay, so we poured just enough. So we have some left over. So I'll work on these little pyramids. I'll put a few. Actually, that clear course will work good. So basically, I'm just putting in a couple crystals on the tops of the pyramids. I'm using clear quartz this time. Other times I've used the amethyst chips, or we have rose quartz chips now too, because I got them with the crystals I ordered. Other times I've used garnet chips, which I ordered some of those before. I'm out of those presently. Whatever, the garnet beads. So I made a whole bunch of pendants. I don't know how to pronounce that, actually. I always pronounce it wrong anyways.
So I'm just filling them up with the sand resin. I'm not doing metal. I'm just making sand pieces. Okay, we are done setting down the knife on the safe surface. Oh, and I highly suggest you use gloves. I don't use gloves, but don't follow my example because you get the stuff on your hands and then it doesn't wash off. It just is sticky, and we're out of gloves, but I don't use gloves if you have them, or order some. Look, I forgot to. So now we wait for it to cure before we add our next layer, and it's going to take a while. So I'm going to see if I can pause the stream. I'm going to try and pause it.